More strike action could be on the books for primary teachers after they rejected the latest pay offer from the government. The Ministry of Education had offered a package worth $700 million over 4 years, which breaks down to about $10,000 extra per teacher per year. And the government says there is no more money to sweeten the deal. But primary teachers are warning if there's no movement, they may stage a nationwide strike on May 29th, with 2 weeks of Worktorule before they walk out of the classroom. I spoke to NZEI President Lynda Stuart, who said one of the biggest issues facing the sector is pay parity. They want to be paid the same as secondary school teachers.
We're starting 3.9% approximately behind our secondary colleagues. So if a primary teacher started teaching today in an area school, they would be below their secondary colleagues by that much, which means that the parity that people fought for 20 years ago would be lost.
So you don't think the demands, sorry to interrupt Lynda, but you don't think the demands of a secondary school teacher are different to those on a primary school teacher?
I think there are different demands in different ways, but actually it's no more demanding as a secondary school teacher than it is as a primary school teacher. And for those people who can visualise a class of 25 6-year-olds, probably would get a sense of what I'm talking about here. So we don't say that either one is better than the other, but what we do say is that teachers need to be paid the same amount for the same qualifications and the same experience. So really that would be lost for us, and that is a significant issue for our membership.
Well, here's your problem though. As I said, the government has been very clear. There is no more money, says the Education Minister. And in fact, the Employment Relations Authority, when it reviewed this deal, what was on offer, it said that the teachers, you had unrealistic expectations and that this was a handsome and competitive proposal in the current fiscal environment. Are you being too greedy?
No, we do not believe that we're being greedy at all. What we would say around the Employment Relations Authority comments are that actually it didn't take into account the crisis that we have within education at the moment, the fact that we cannot attract people into the profession, and if we do attract them into the profession, they leave within 5 years.
So the independent assessment is wrong?
So we believe that actually the figures that we used there were much higher than we had anticipated, and certainly we didn't agree with their
Right, because they costed your wish list at around $2.5 billion compared to the government package of $700 million. But what we have here is two entrenched positions, don't we? Teachers saying not good enough, government saying no more money. So how far are you prepared to go in order to force the government's hand here? More strike action?
Well, I think nobody wants to do more strike action. None of us want that. But what our members have said is that they've rejected the current package, so we absolutely want to go back in and have conversations that will look at a way forward. We would like to be able to go back to our membership in the week of the 6th to 10th of May at paid union meetings with another offer that actually really addresses the issues that we have put in front of the government.
But strike is on the horizon, is it not, Lynda? Realistically, you're going to be asking your members what the appetite is for further strike action, aren't you?
So in that week, in the paid union meetings, we hope that we'll go back with an offer. If we haven't got an offer, then obviously we have signalled the Worktorule and also another strike. So those things are signalled. We don't want to go there. Teachers actually and principals want to be doing what they do best, which is teaching and learning with children alongside children.
How likely is it that there will be a super strike which involves primary and secondary teachers?
So what we've got is, with the awful attacks that happened in Christchurch obviously both organisations have had to rethink where they were at, and we obviously cancelled our paid union meetings. We have very similar issues. The secondary teachers are following their own processes and they'll make their own decisions. But as I say, we've got similar issues. We're in regular communication with the PPTA, and we will do what both organisations need to do as we make those decisions moving forward.
How long do you think it will be before you exhaust the goodwill of parents and the public with this?
So we've got very high support from our communities. I think it's because our communities absolutely see what our teachers and our principals do and how they do go that extra mile for communities. We've got the example that we saw just very recently in Christchurch, but actually, and that's of a huge magnitude, but actually teachers and principals do that on a daily basis across the country in different sorts of ways, and I think that our communities know that and see that.
But some people would argue, Lynda, that they accept that and they value teachers, but there is a limit to what we can afford. The government is suggesting a package of $700 million, and the Employment Relations Authority independently viewed it and said this was reasonable and that your expectations were unreasonable. So what happens if neither of you budge on this? Can there be a forced settlement?
I think what we would be wanting to do is to have the conversation, to sit down and have the conversation. We won't negotiate through the media. We'll have the conversation in a way where actually we can find that way forward, and our members and the way forward has the confidence of the membership and also enables the government to do what they need to do.
Lynda, can you be made to go into binding mediation?
I don't think we're in. We've had mediation before. We've had facilitation being made to go into a mediation. I don't know that that's on the cards.
But is that an option? If nothing can be sorted, is that one of the possibilities that you go into a binding mediation?
I would have to check with the legal team on that one.
Okay, so I'm just wondering, if you can't get what you want out of them, elections, just over a year away, are you going to advise teachers to vote for National instead of Labor?
Oh, certainly not. I think that...
well, if you can't get what you want from this government, are you still going to stick with them?
I think how our teachers vote and how our principals vote is entirely up to them, and I won't be saying anything about how people should vote.
And that is the NZEI President, Lynda Stuart.